Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke...
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, miss...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what you...
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my Wet Boot Boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt, or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife.
You never paid him a visit at the
And I don't intend to. In Clay's case, I'm not against a medical mistake or a little help from the Spanish.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in...
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and
Really? Don't you think that's a...
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threat.
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling...
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about...
Behind all your crude words and your attitude, I sense romance and a soft heart.
Romance? I have no time for such rubbish.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else.
What happened exactly?
I don't know, and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our law.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Can I see what...
As long as you have money. The sewer dog's fault, they say. Then the gangs, the epidemics, everyone's throwing the blame.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for
Good
teeth
evening,
and
sir.
icicles.
Whatever.
He
Don't you
comes at
recognize
sudden
me?
at nighttime.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before. I'm Jason Delaney. I'll try to remember you.
Your sewer dog.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
He's the kind
I
of
drink.
prey I hunt, milady.
I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am.
Don't you
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink.
Is there anything in particular that you like about the...
How dare you say such a thing?
Why are you so...
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. And now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is, I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure, I wanted things to change. To really change, and to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean.
I really don't know.
Who could tell me?
About a sad saint.
Goodbye.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Oh boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus...
Have you heard of the Guard?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters.
Were you ever tempted?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
So you hunt alone?
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
I'm looking for Sean.
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour, but I cannot tell you how to find it.
Really?
It's nothing personal, Doctor.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to...
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're...
Goodbye.
Like these are good drinks just as likely to cause a problem as to...
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
How is it you can keep this place open?
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
How is it?
Well,
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. It would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
So few clients. With the
they stupid
no
or
one
something?
dares go outside.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me?
You better ask Tom, sir. We respect the privacy of our...
Goodbye.
every night.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What can you tell me about...
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and...
Are you thinking about someone...
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag...
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his...
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be...
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Any chance you can help?
The sad saint.
Actually...
Really? Well, go ask someone else then. I'm sure
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne. Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that... people...
Well, I won't.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
What can you tell me about...
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's...
Why do people...
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a...
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and...
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the dock.
Are you alone?
I don't have any...
So you have no home?
No. I mean, yes. I live...
This city has abandoned so many of its children.
I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I haven't...
Why do you think she's so...
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good son.
Do you know...
Sorry, sir. I don't know...
Well, I don't think you should talk to him. He may...
Thanks for the tip.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me. That's a first.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank...
So long, Rufus. Good evening.
What?
Inebriation.
Yes.
Take me. Goodbye.
That's it! Vicious bugger!
Seems like the guard of Prewen is on Northampton style.
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess. No?
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Over there! See that? Christ, he's dead! Watch it! It's a killer! Filthy piece of shit! in the grave! Crush the leech, boys! You pay for this! Kill you! I hate leeching!
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Goodbye. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you need...
Rest assured, I will help you.
Your merchandise? I don't...
None taken, sir. But please.
I'm looking for Sean...
He's a caretaker for the poor.
Something like that.
Sorry, I don't know where...
Let me be frank. You're as much of a...
Who the hell are you to question me?
I meant no offense, Mr. Nightingale. I was merely pointing out the fact that you're unlikely to survive long if you continue wandering this path.
And what should I do then, sir? Should I join the wet boot boys like so many others? No thanks. I'd rather be a bad seller than a dead gang member.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
Not really. Miss Gillingham smiles and says kind words, but I know she's lost her marbles, especially since...
Tell me about this crazy woman. Madness is often mistaken for other conditions.
The poor woman's mad, all right. Kind and all, but she has so much trouble remembering things. She's taken me for a son.
How interesting. I don't suppose you know what happened to her.
Jack! Rumour has it he tried to tackle some gang lads. I didn't know him well, but I heard he was a nice enough chap.
Why not try seeking help instead of peddling your wares? I'm sure there are people around.
There's always the night asylum. I heard it's run by a very nice man, but I'm no beggar. Not yet, at least.
There is no shame in asking for help, my boy. Sometimes it can even be the best course of...
I don't feel okay with that. I'm gonna...
I found this watch.
But that makes sense. She would have forgotten.
If you say so.
Take this for your trouble, Dr. Reed. I will not...
Show me what...
Are you certain you're not lost, sir? You seem quite a stranger to these parts.
Good evening,
I know
miss.
I've got something
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I...
I already took my medication.
I'm sorry. You're...
Don't tease me like that, Jack.
I think I should come in, miss. I'd like to check if everything is okay, what with the epidemic.
An epidemic, you say? How terrible. I had no idea. But where are my manners? Please do come in, Doctor. You are a doctor.
It's locked, all right.
So, Dr. Tippett, what brings you back?
I told you my name is Jonathan.
Of course I do. I remember mine.
I'm looking for a Sean...
Sean Hampton, you say? Oh, the name does seem fake.
What can you tell me?
Oh, no. I don't go...
Is anyone taking care...
My son is always here to take care of him.
Who are the more influential...
Well, I heard about some terrible illness going around. I would say in that case that it's you, Dr. Tippett.
Enid, have you really no idea what happened to your son? No idea at all?
I've not seen Jack for so long. I lose track of time. Has something bad happened to him?
Jack is dead, Miss Gillingham.
Of course he's not. I've seen him. Tonight, in fact. Ever the joker, Dr. Tippets.
Goodbye, Miss.
So,
Do you require...
I'm glad you asked, Dr.
I'll see you...
Please, sir. Come and have a gander.
The wet boots should be fighting each other. They've got bigger problems.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
May I ask what you do for a living? As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker?
Why such hatred?
Course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people...
What can you tell me about...
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here, and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive.
If you have something to say, say.
Oh. You want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as...
Your manners, your clothes...
Oh no, Miss Paxton, you really don't know my kind. You have no idea who I am.
All right, okay.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in
You bet I am.
You lost your job
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially...
Isn't the whole point of trade unions?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole...
What really happened? Do you need medical help, Miss Paxton?
No, thank you.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr.
Well... Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fish.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous... Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The sad saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Are you homeless?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my...
What can you tell me about the sad saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton.
What can you tell me about...
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself...
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her, plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness.
That's quite a statement.
Mother was very ill, but I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral.
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's...
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are. What can you...
It may be...
Which local dangers,
Well, the gangs, the thieves.
Well, I am not...
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can always seek help at Sean Hampton's shelter.
You really think I should...
No. I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet...
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum.
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke Hospital, but he...
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
Goodbye.
You again?
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother...
Hell? What do you...
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
You should talk to your sister. Whatever happened when your mother died, the truth lies somewhere between...
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologize.
Well...
It's locked. It's locked already. Right.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Is it all that worries you, Sean? My long...
This is a blessing for me, to become a Skal. Immortality gives me more time and energy, if truth be known, to run a shelter. What more could I want?
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Aren't you afraid?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and...
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Why return?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me.
Wonders never cease. Scowl.
And what of you? A vampire doctor?
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but...
But you were...
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to...
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the...
Very well. You have definitely...
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I'll surrender myself to...